Very good morning to all. We are very glad to welcome all for the be able to hear, sir. Is it all? Okay, sir. Let me continue. Very good morning to one and all. We are very glad to welcome all for the Atal sponsor online faculty development program on sensor technology. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and still a love of learning. It gives immense pleasure to welcome the faculty members of various institutions on behalf of our VSR family and now I welcome our Honorable HOD of ECE Department, Dr. K.
Very good morning to one and all present here. I welcome all for the Atal sponsored 5 days online faculty development program on sensor technology. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you on behalf of our PSR group of institutions and my own behalf. It's my immense pleasure to welcome our beloved managing trustee and correspondent sir, PSR group of institutions Thiru R. Solechami. I welcome you, sir, and also welcome our young and energetic director, Engineer S. Vigneshwari Arun Kumar of PSR group of institutions. I welcome you, ma'am. In this occasion, I welcome our distinguished principal, Dr. P.G. Vishram, sir. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our dynamic team, Dr. P. Marichami, sir. I welcome you, sir. I welcome the resource person of today's faculty development program, Mr. K. Harihara Krishna, Regional Manager, Venus Surgical Private Limited, Chennai. I welcome you, sir. I also extend my heartfelt welcome to the forthcoming sessions experts and our beloved heads of various departments, faculty members, and office bearers. On this occasion, I wish to share the highlights of needed importance of faculty development program of sensor technology. Sensors can enhance the world through the diagnostics in medical applications, improved performance in energy sources and solar power, betterment of health, safety and security of people, and exploring the monitoring of environmental engineering. The C technologies are now being developed for long-term vision that includes the artificial intelligence that are self-monitoring, self-correcting, and self-modifying. The ability of the system is to see by photonic technology, feel by physical measurements, smell by electronic measurements, hear by ultrasonic sensors, think and communicate by smart electronics, and move by smart actuator. So this sensor technology progressing rapidly and ensure the exciting for the near future. I am sure that such kind of training program on sensor technology will provide a good platform to exchange their ideas about the advances and applications in the field of industrial automation and healthcare technology. Once again, I welcome you all the best for all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your warm welcome. Next, I invite our honorable and beloved principal sir to deliver inaugural address. Our principal sir, Dr. P.G. Vishnuram, Principal, PSR Engineering College, Sivagasi. Please, sir.
Very good morning to one and all connected to this inaugural meeting. Honorable Chairman AICTE, most respected Managing Trustee and Correspondent Thiru R. Solechami sir, respected Madam or Director Vigneshwari Arun Kumar, beloved Dean Dr. P. Marichami, beloved Head of the Department Dr. K. Valarmadi, distinguished Professor and Dean Research Dr. Sagul Hamid, convener of the program Dr. Karapasamy, Professor Madina, Dr. Vinod, and my dear colleagues. It gives me immense pleasure for me to be with you for the inauguration of this Atal sponsored 1 week FDP on sensor technology being organized by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering of our PSR Engineering College. I hope learning is continuous. A teacher or a student, even an expert, an industrialist also, everyone should have the attitude of learning, which is lifelong learning and should be a continuous learning. So to have that aim to be satisfied, AICT has come forward and sponsored as many as more than 43 colleges all over India. I understand this Atal program is now being conducted. Today at about 11 a.m. in AICTE, a special inauguration program is also there. AICTE chairman will be joining. So it is a very an honor given to our institution, and I would like to congratulate the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering of our college, the team members, HOD, convener, dean, and all the faculty members who have taken their chance and opportunity to get this program sponsored by AICT. I would like to have a few words about our PSR Engineering College. PSR Engineering College is now 23 years old. It is started in the year 1999 by the philanthropist through R. Solaisamy sir, our managing trustee and correspondent. So the journey is now continuous. Over a period of 23 years, the students and parents and alumni of this college brought laurels to the institutions, and the faculty members are so committed. And now we have so many distinctions as milestones since the inception of the college. The major being the college is accredited by NAAC with A+ grade. It is one among 99 colleges all over the India have such a distinguished milestone now, accredited by NBA Tier 1, and it is an autonomous institution, ISO certified college. It has a distinction of have five research centers, namely civil engineering, mechanical engineering, ECE, CSE, and electrical and electronics engineering. Research center recognized by Anna University, Chennai. So also we have got 8 UG programs now offered by our college, namely civil engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science and medical engineering. This year we are going to start biomedical engineering, electronics and communication engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, and biomedical engineering, then biotechnology. So we have got 5 PG program in engineering as structural engineering, engineering design, applied electronics, power electronics, and computer science and engineering. So as many as then we have got MBA program also. The college is located in the rural area. The locational disadvantage is now converted as a locational advantage, deriving the benefits of the student potential that is coming from the rural area. So presently, the college has come forward with the collaboration with the US company Sunline. So the US Sunline company has come forward and collaborated with our PSR Engineering College on the areas of placement and training, internship, project, special laboratories, curriculum enrichment, faculty development program, and communication skill, leadership enhancement. So all the good happenings are simultaneously going through in the process of taking the college to the next level. I would like to thank the support rendered by the management, in particular through R. Solai Sami sir and Engineer Vigneshwari Arun Kumar for their always giving full support for the development of the institution. At this juncture, I would like to thank all my HODs, Dean Academic Dr. P. Marchami, who is always with me for taking the college to the next level. So, dear participants, coming for this sponsored program, I would like to mention a few words about our chief guest. It's an honor and privilege and proud from my side that we have got the chief guest and the speaker, Mr. H. Harihara Krishnan. He is a regional manager, Venus Surgicals Private Limited, Avadi, Chennai. I hope the chief guest invited for the inaugural address is an experienced expert in the field of electronics. His delivery of the inaugural address and keynote speech on the particular topic will be a beneficial one for all the participants. So, dear participant, please come forward, deliberate on the topic. The topic given is smart sensor-based industrial automation and healthcare technology. A new technology, always India has accepted and to deliver the new things, a new technology to all the stakeholders. So the stakeholder begin at the college, none other than the student, then the faculty, then the parent. So we start from here, the smart technology, sensor technology. So have a great day and great session. And all the participants, I wish you all the best. Please enjoy attending the sessions. As many as more than 15, 16 experts are there going to talk about the various topics on sensor technology during these days from 7th today to the 11th June 2021. So to end my speech, I once again thank you all. I welcome the chief guest and I welcome all the participants for this event. And I pray Almighty God Tirupati Venkatara Tirupati for his blessings to one and all connected to this event and my colleagues as well. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your enthusiastic speech. You are always inspiration to all of us. Now, I welcome our dynamic Dean Sir, Dr. P. Marichami, to deliver felicitation address.
Good morning to everyone. EC Department of PSR Engineering College is conducting 5 days workshop on titled Atal FTP on smart sensor technology with the theme of smart sensor-based industrial automation and healthcare technology. So already we have conducted one Atal FTP program in the month of January 2021. In the topic of Internet of Things, so we have good experience in organizing this Atal program, especially by the faculty of the EC department. The topic is very much important in the present scenario of development, as sensor is required everywhere, starting from wireless sensor networks and in the satellite communications, even in the underwater communications, even in healthcare technology. So healthcare technology requires sensors, implantable and ingestible sensors, and antennas also under development. So we have run speakers from various premier institutions and industries so to give lectures on this topic of sensor technology. It's including one session on the human values in all these 5 days. So today with us, chief guest Mr. K. Harihara Krishnan, Regional Manager of Venus Surgical Private Limited, Chennai. So he is also going to talk in the first session. It's about the sensor technology. I congratulate the coordinator of this program, Dr. P. Karpasamy, and the organizers for this program, Dr. P. Ranjit Kumar, Dr. Vinod, Mr. S. Sangar Ganesh, and Mr. S. Sandoz. And also I congratulate Dr. K. Vadarmadi, Professor and Head of the EC Department, for giving her full support to conduct Atal FDP program. I hope the topic sensor technology will be very much beneficial to all the participants who have registered for attending this Atal FDP program. I wish the program for all success and the organizers, I hope for very good success of this program for its purpose. So thank you very much for one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inspirational speech. Next, I invite our respectable professor, Dr. P. Karpasamy, to deliver about the FTP program.
Very pleasant morning to one and all present here. On behalf of our PSR family, Atal, and my own behalf, I welcome all the participants. First of all, I would like to thank to our beloved management, beloved principal sir, beloved dean sir, and HOD of ECE for giving me a fabulous opportunity to organize the 5-day Atal sponsored FTP on sensor technology. Here, once the Atal displayed in their portal about the sensor technology, so many response. We have received so many response on that day onwards. So now 200 participants were registered in this FTP. Unfortunately, as per the instruction given from the Atal, I have permitted only 192 participants to attend this FTP. So 192 participants are going to attend this FTP. I am very happy to inform you that last academic year, we have organized the 5 days Atal FTP on the topic of IoT. And this year, so we are going to organize the 5 days FTP on the topic of sensor technology. I am eager to share some information about our FTP. Yes, sensor science and engineering is relevant to virtually all aspects of life, including safety, security, surveillance, monitoring, and awareness in general. Sensors are central to industrial application being used for process control, monitoring, and safety. Sensors are also central to medicine being used for diagnostics, monitoring, critical care, and public health. To fulfill the promise of ubiquitous sensor systems, providing situational awareness at low cost, there must be a demonstrated benefit that is only gained through further miniaturization. For example, new nanometer-based materials that have a unique sensing properties can provide higher sensitivity, greater selectivity, and possibly improved stability at a lower cost. Such improvements are necessary to the sensor future. Sensor can improve the world through diagnostics in medical application. Improved performance of energy sources like fuel cells and batteries, solar power, improved health and safety and security for people. Sensors for exploring space and the known university and improved environmental monitoring. The seed technology, related to the agriculture base. The seed technologies are now being developed for long-term vision that includes intelligent systems that are self-monitoring, self-correcting, and repairing, and self-modifying or morphing, not unlike sentient beings. The ability for a system to see, that is similar to the photonic technology, feel, that is related to the physical measurements, smell, that is related to the electronic noses, hear, that is related to the ultrasonics, think or communicate, that is related to the smart electronics and wireless, and move, the sensor integrated with the actuators, which is progressing rapidly and suggests an exciting future for sensors. So, in this topic, why we have chose this topic mean, this topic is very much related to all the programs, not only for ECE, it is related to all the programs like civil department, EEE department, mechanical department, CSD department. So all the departments can benefit from this sensor technology topic. That is why we chose the sensor technology topic. I hope that this sensor technology 5 days FTP will be very useful and informative to all the participants. Thank you. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inspirational speech. Next, myself, I am very glad to discuss about the institution as well as our department. So, when you coming to PSR Engineering College, it's an autonomous institution established in the year 1999 by P.S. Ramasamy Telugu Minority Educational and Charitable Trust, towering high in quality of academic excellence and development. Institution was started with 3 UG courses in the year 1999, namely ECE, CSE, IT. At present, the institute has 7 UG and 6 PG programs, including MBA. The college attained in the year of 2012 of autonomous status and we accredited by NAC in the year 2014. In the second cycle of re-accreditation, we got A+ grade in the year 2021. The 3 UG programs, namely ECE, CSE, as well as EEE, the 3 UG programs, ECE, CSE, EEE, accredited by NBA of Tier 1. The institution has Anna University recognized 5 research center. The Center of Excellence has been established in the field of IoT, embedded system, AutoCAD and E-Plan. Nearly 360 papers was published in reputed journals and 954 conference papers were presented by our faculty members. 40 Indian patents were published as well as 32 scholars were completed their PhD under our research center as well as 92 scholars are currently pursuing research. Moving towards our ECE department, we was one among the initial courses started in the PSR Engineering College. The college was the department was accredited with NBA since 2009 onwards. IEEE, ISTE and IETE are the chapters being active all the times. The department possesses a center of excellence and robotics and Internet of Things in association with Texas Instruments, Bangalore. Our department incorporates the modern facilities, latest equipments, as well as the softwares in various laboratories like VLSI design, embedded system, communication engineering, digital signal processing, as well as electronic system design laboratories. In addition to that, we are having mixed signal circuit design laboratory, which was established under AICTE Modrov scheme. The department embraces a vibrant team of dedicated faculties and ensure a high standard of education to the students. The faculty members are constantly active in the participation of various technical programs and also receive various awards from government agencies. Nearly 124 articles were published in the reputed journal and nearly 210 technical papers were presented by the faculty members in the national as well as the international conferences. As well as 11 PhD scholars were completed their research, and now 26 PhD scholars are pursuing under our ECE Department Research Center. As on date, the department has organized 23 FTPs and 7 STTPs and 121 seminar, workshop, webinar, etc. Like a evening shadow, it is all going on. The department has research grants from various government, that is organized by the schemes like DST, AICTE, as TNSCST, while students received the Swachh Bharat Fellowship for their project proposal. We are very proud of our department too. Then moving toward the next, I invite Dr. R. Renuka Devi ma'am, Associate Professor of ECE Department, to introduce our chief guest.
Good morning to all. It's my immense pleasure to introduce our today's chief guest, Mr. K. Harihara Krishnan sir. Mr. K. Harihara Krishnan sir is currently working as a regional manager in biomedical department at Venus Surgical Private Limited, Chennai. He completed his BE degree in National Engineering College, Kovilpatti in the year of 2003 and MBA degree under Madras University in the year of 2020. Then he started his first career as a marketing manager in Indusplant Bank. After 2 years, he changed his career and started to work as a sales and service engineer in Medifield Equipment Corporation for handling medical equipment. He is well specialized with equipment related products for the past 12 years, and he started his new career to step up in Venus Surgical Private Limited, Chennai, as a regional manager dealing with equipment products of German based. In the year of 2014, the company was appreciated him as a best employee because of his hard work and growth to the company, and sent a trip to Germany with the company expenses for German based product training. He is a very good poetry writer, and currently he recruits more than 20 students from our National Engineering College, recently passed out to his company. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I think it's the time
To start our session. Just a second. I invite our professor, Dr. P. Karupasamy sir, that's to instruct all the participants about the program.
Yes, good morning, participants. Some instruction, everyone should listen that. As per the instruction given from the ATAL, every participant should maintain the 80% of attendance for the everyday session, and 60% of marks getting from the assessment test. This is the protocol given by the ATAL for getting the E certificate. Then the attendance will be posted in the Cisco WebEx chat box alone, right? So in between the session, we will post the attendance. Do not ask unnecessary. Do not ask anything here. In between every session, we will post the attendance link in the chat box alone, Cisco WebEx chat box alone, right? Then during the session, if you have any clarifications or about the technical session or anything else related to the topic, raise your hands. Then after finish the session, we will unmute your mic. Then one by one, you can ask your question to the speaker. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Every session, all the participants should be joined here before the 5 minutes before. Thank you.
Sir, shall we start the session? And one more thing,
The link will be shared at the chat box only for the attendance as well as all the inquiries that will be delivered in the chat box only. Right. Let me start the session. Now, I invite our Chief Guest, K. Harihara Krishnan, Regional Manager, Venus Surgical Private Limited, to deliver the technical session on the topic of role of sensors in industrial application. Please, sir.
Yeah, very good morning to one and all present here. All are you doing good?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, very good morning to one and all present here. All are you doing good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are making a note.
Hello?
Hello. Sir.
Yeah, very good morning to one and all present here. Myself, Harihara Krishnan, Regional Manager, Venus Surgical from Chennai. I feel very glad to have this wonderful golden opportunity for me given by PSR Engineering College. My heartful thanks to PSR Engineering College Management, especially Mr. R. Solisamy, correspondent of PSR Engineering College, ERS Vigneshwari Arun Kumar, Director of PSR Engineering College, Dr. P.G. Vishnuram, Principal of PSR Engineering College, Dean Mr. Marit Chami, Dean Mr. Sahul Hamid, Dr. P. Karpaswamy, Professor of ECE and organizing of this seminar. So special thanks to him. Dr. K. Valarmadi, Head of the Department ECE, and to all the organizing coordinators. Today we all have gathered here to discuss about a very important topic about sensor technology. I'm sure that you will feel enriched with knowledge after completion of this event. So I welcome you all once again to the seminar and hope that you all will have a great time ahead. A sensor is an electronic device. It is one form to another form. It's also called as a transducer. For example, any object information that will detect and converted into readable signal. For example, electrical signal. The advantage of sensor is that it will extremely accurate result, low power consumption, low cost, easy to install and easy to maintain service facility also. Nowadays, sensors are widely used in many applications like a industrial side and healthcare industry. The type of sensors, the temperature sensor, it is used to detect the temperature and heat energy, convert into the electrical signal in the form of voltage or current. Then pressure sensor, used to detect the pressure of air, gas, water, and provides electrical signal to the controller. For example, mainly used in hydraulic systems.
Sir, sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt you. Sir?
Yeah.
I think is any PPT to share, sir? It is not visible here.
Yeah, we will start shortly. It's a,
okay, sir. Okay, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No issue.
Issues. Okay,
the third
sir.
one is third one is touch sensor. Actually, it is an electronic sensor that is used for detecting and recording. It is used in industrial application like switch for turn off, on off light, remote control for AC, door open close operation, elevator, smartphones, robotics, etc. For example, best example of a based sensor in pulse oximeter. Nowadays, it is very useful of COVID side, which is used in electro oxygen level in the human body. Then image sensor, it's an electronic device that is used to detect the image and provide information to the display devices. For example, CCTV, medical imaging equipment, radar, and image sensor are used. Next one is monitor sensor. It is measure and record for physical activities or movements used in microwaves, robotics, automatic door operation. The next one is light sensor. It is a photoelectric device that detects that convert to the brightness into electrical signal. Example, widely used in solar system, automatic agriculture sector. Then we'll see agriculture sensor. It's a mechanical sensor used to measure soil compaction. Then soil moisture sensor. It is determine the water supply status for crops. Then humidity sensor used for determining the moisture content. Then nowadays, camera image sensor. Television camera image is a device that displays light sensitive image sensor to convert optical image into electrical signal. Nowadays, everybody using Android mobile. So Android support sensor, monitor sensor, position sensor, environmental sensor, fingerprint sensor are widely used in smartphones. Vishnu, the slide போடுங்க. Vishnu? Vishnu? Vishnu call பண்ணு.
Anyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, please release Vishnu Prasad mute, ma'am.
Yeah, we released, sir.
Yeah, and Durai also, ma'am.
Share content, ma'am.
1 minute, sir. Sir, Raju Duraya.
No, Durai and Vishnu Prasad.
Durai sir name is not visible here, sir.
P. Durai. His initial is P. P. Durai.
Okay, sir.
I can't be able to share my content.
There's no name for P. Durai, sir. Sir. Durai, sir. Huh?
P. P.
Wait a moment, sir.
And also open my video for sharing.
Video.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Durai.
Yeah.
He is my colleague, Mr. Hari Arakku. Hari?
Yeah, tell me, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I released it, sir. I released the log for Durai, sir.
Yeah, I am speaking, madam.
Please release Vishnu Prasad also, ma'am.
You have unmuted me,
Okay.
but I need to share my PPT. I can't be able to share that content.
Wait, sir. Wait, sir. Sir, Durai, sir, the PPT இது பண்ண முடியல.
Sir?
Sorry, sir, you can now proceed, sir. You are the co-host now. You can proceed, sir.
I'm only presenting the PPT, sir. Myself,
Okay,
Mr.
sir.
Prasad.
Okay, sir. You can share your screen, sir.
But I can't be able to share here. That share icon is unvisible.
Sir, can you check it now?
Yes, sir.
You
but
can
I
share
can't
now,
able-
sir.
I can't be able to share. Sir.
Sir, you are the presenter now.
No, I am co-host like that.
Co-host also the presenter, sir.
Here that share content icon is
Sir, you
unvisible.
can. Just a minute, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Now I am going
Okay,
to share.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Now it is visible to us.
Sir, it's visible now, sir. You can proceed.
Okay. Hari sir, you can start, sir.
Yeah. The introduction part is over. Just now move to next slide. Yeah, already we have finished industrial area sensor. Okay, now we are going to discuss different types of medical sensors. The initially one temperature probe used for body temperature measurement. This helps in providing better medicine and treatment for patient. They are called thermometer. Nowadays, using in COVID session. Then force sensor used in kidney dialysis machine, airflow sensor used in anesthesia delivery system, laparoscopy, heart pump, etc. Next one is pressure sensor used in infusion pumps and sleep apnea machine. Most of the pressure sensors are integrated with embedded system. They are used for medical diagnosis, blood pressure monitoring, infusion pumps, etc. Next one is implantable pacemaker is a very important one. It is a real-time embedded system which delivers synchronized rhythmic electric stimulus to the heart muscle in order to maintain effective cardiac rhythm. Next is oximeter. It is very useful. It is measured to fraction of oxygen saturated hemoglobin relative to the total hemoglobin count in the blood. Next one is glucometer. It is measured to approximate blood glucose concentration. So the most of diabetic patients using this instrument. Vishnu, move to next slide.
Yeah.
Vishnu? Yeah, next one is temperature probe. The magnetometer, it is specific direction of user by examining changes to earth magnetic field around the user. Then electrocardiogram sensor. It is measured the electrical activity of the heart. It is called ECG sensor. Everybody knows. Then heart rate sensor. It counts the number of heart contraction per minute. Next one is EEG, electroencephalogram. It is measured the electrical activity of the brain. Next one is electromyogram sensor. It records electrical activity produced by skeletal muscles. Next one is respiration of rate sensor. It counts how many times the chest rises a minute. Next one is a biosensor. It scans during ultrasound. Next one is image sensor in cardiography. These are basic points in sensor side. My colleague Mr. Durai will continue the next session. After this, Mr. Vishnu will continue PTS.
Hello.
Vishnu?
Hello. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, Vishnu, move to next slide.
Yeah, now Durai sir will.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Durai will continue. Mr. Durai will continue. You have more than 25 experience in my company. You have a lot of knowledge in sensor family. So after finish this session, everybody ask any questions. Please continue, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hari Krishnan, and I would like to thank PhD faculty members and the organization secretaries as well as the founders for giving me the opportunity to take on this biomedical sensors. We have dealt with OT lights and autoclaves and other equipments. First, I'll start with the OT table. OT table is an table which is used during the surgery procedure, which has 5 positions. You have the head section separate, the chest, abdomen, and the leg section. So in that we have the sensors of called as potentiometers. These potentiometers will be fitted into the.
Sorry for the interruption, sir. Durai
Yes,
sir,
madam. Yeah.
shall you make your presentation visible? Shall I give present
no,
slide
madam.
for you?
One second.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And in the OT table, there is a sensor which they are the potentiometer sensors for the height up and down, as well as the tilt towards patient right and patient left, and head down, head up. These sensors are there incorporated in the strategic positions of the table it fixed. So once we have the hand control or the wireless remote control, which is an infrared sensor type, where that hand control will not be physically linked to the OT table. It will be mount. You can have it as a distance of some 100 meters inside the operation theater, and the surgeon anesthetist can operate it. So it gives a free room for the anesthetist to move around the table. Sorry, not move around the table. He'll be basically on the edge side. So he'll be able to operate the table height up and down depending upon the surgeon's request. Because normally the cable will be laid beside the table, so it will be entrance to the surgical team. So we have an infrared sensor which uses infrared technology for doing the up-down measurements. These sensors, if there is any problem in the sensor, it will be error code will be displayed in the hand pendant with the error code number itself. There are some tables which doesn't have error code facilities displaying in as alphanumeric type. It will be in the binary form. So with particular binary form, we can identify which sensor is defective, and that particular sensor can be replaced. As far as the OT table is concerned, it is a height sensor is also potentiometer. Tenderberg sensor is in potentiometer, and tilt right to left is also sensor potentiometer. The other movements in the table is that the leg section and the head section is done by manually, so they don't have any sensor for that. And I'll move on to autoclave. Autoclave is something else which is being used in an OT for sterilization of the instrument during the surgery, because one thing is it prevents the infection, cross infection from another patient to this patient, and also to prevent infection to the surgical team. And this also employs a sensor in the autoclave. In autoclave, we have a bulk autoclave.
Excuse me, Durai sir.
Yes, madam.
Sorry for the interruption. Once again,
Yeah.
Sir, please switch on your video, sir.
1 second, madam. Yeah, is it okay?
No, sir. It's not visible.
Okay. Not visible. Is it okay, madam? Hello.
No, sir. No, sir. It's not visible. It's not working.
It's not ready.
Yeah, now it's okay, sir.
Okay, madam.
It's clear. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you, madam.
Sorry for the interruption,
No problem.
sir.
No
Okay,
problem.
sir.
In autoclave, I'll just give you the basic introduction. Why do we need an autoclave and what are the sensors? Autoclave is an equipment which sterilizes the instrument, surgical instruments prior to the surgery. As well as after every surgery, the instruments are being sterilized, so that to prevent the cross infection between the patient as well as the surgical team. And see, this autoclave is as a big autoclave where we have a automated systems. It is nothing but similar to our pressure cooker, which we use it in our residence, where the temperature, pressure, everything is minimum. But here it is we operate this autoclave at the pressure of 305 kPa and temperature at 134. And with the time duration, everything is combines together, we go for autoclave. And this one, we have a steam generator separately, which has a 3 electrode sensor. One electrode will be normally immersed inside fully with the water. Other one will be just above the heating element. The third electrode will be just 50% above the surface. So at any point of given time, the steam will be always generated inside with the pressure of 350 kPa, which has a pressure sensor which senses if the pressure goes beyond 350 kPa, the sensor will sense and stop the heating element. As well as the heating elements also protected by the 3 electrode sensor. This sensor will have, once that water level recedes down, the supply to the heating element is switched off, and again the water pump will be switched on, so that the water goes inside. Then again the heater power supply will switch on for generating the power steam. So that thereby we are safeguarding the heating element as well as prevent shock or short circuit in the system. And now, once the steam generator is ready, I'm just coming to the part of the autoclave system. The Berkeley autoclave, where we have a railing system, where it is mounted with the 2 railing systems. We have all the instruments being cleaned and processed it and just packed it thoroughly, and it can be just pushed inside the chamber. Sometimes the chamber has a single door or also double door. The double door is advantage that once we load it from the unsterile side, or it is called the semi-sterile side. From there, once it is sterilized, they can unload it in the sterile side and keep it in the stack, so that any department wants to leave, they can come and pick it up and go that particular time. The autoclave, once it is loaded, so once the door closing, when we initiate the command at the controller, so the door will be moved by an activating of the pneumatic system. The door movement and closing is done by the sliding on the rails, done by the pneumatic systems. So this has a pneumatic sensor also. In pneumatic sensor, when the door closes, the pneumatic sensor cut off the air supply line to the cylindrical tube. And also it has a normal micro switch to sense to the microcontroller stating that the machine, the door is closed, as well as it has an inbuilt feature. Once one of the door is open, the other door cannot be opened. That is, example is when the door is in the semi-sterile side is open, we cannot open the door on the sterile side, like vice versa. So once both the doors are closed, the display from standby changes to the ready mode. Once we initiate the command, so once the steam at that time, the air is inside. So vacuum sensor will sense that the air is inside. So once the vacuum pump will start after the starting command, so it will remove all the air inside. Once it reaches the predetermined the negative pressure value kPa, and the steam will be just sent inside. This process is repeated for 2 times to remove 99% of the air inside the chamber, so that to have a 100% sterilization of the instruments. Once the steam goes inside, so the steam keeps on increasing to reaching of the pressure of 304, and along with the temperature sensor. So temperature sensor will sense whether it has reached 134 degree or not. So once this temperature sensor reaches 134 degree centigrade, as well as the pressure of 305, the sterilization starts. So sterilization, once it starts, it holds period of 15. Minimum time is 10 minutes. So we can increase depending upon the requirement. So once the temperature reaches the temperature during that time, the sterilization is gone. So after the sterilization is over, the pressure inside the chamber will be released to the atmosphere by the vacuum pump. Once it reaches 100 kPa, it is atmospheric pressure, then only we can open the door. This pressure sensor is the diaphragm type, and that temperature sensor is PT100. So both are being given as a signal to the microcontroller. So based on that, the door opening, closing, as well as steam input to output, and the vacuum start is being controlled by the microcontroller. Once that is accomplished, and once we want to unload it, we need to just give a time of from 10 to 15 minutes, cool down inside. And after that, we can unload it from the sterile side, and all this sterile pack can be packed. To know whether the doctors, to know that whether this pack is sterile or not, we have an steam indicators. So steam indicators are basically change in color. So this will have it will be in green color once it is exposed to steam with 131 degrees centigrade and 304 kPa pressure with a time duration of 15 minutes. It changes to black color. And this is the sensor used here is the in the steam indicators 3 electrode, and based on that the back motor goes pumps inside the water and fixes this one of the heating element. And in the autoclave we have a vacuum sensor and pneumatic switches and micro switches, as well as the PT under temperature sensor. And now I'll move on to the washer disinfector. So washer disinfector is another one. Prior to sterilization, this is be done. These two equipments are used in central sterile supply department. In washer disinfector, we have two pumps. One is the reagent, other one is the sterilization agent. Both the pumps are being into the pump. We have a flow switch. It is again a sensor to find out whether the liquid is available or not. Without the liquid, the motor will not be switched on. So once the liquid, sufficient level liquid is inside, the controller gets a command saying that the liquid is fully filled, so you can initiate the pump. So this dosing is also called as a dosing pump. So they just infuse very limit of that little bit amount of the solution into the chamber for washing it. And it has also a pressure sensor. So this is works with under high pressure to clean all the instruments as well as the other accessories which is used inside the theater, such like kidney trays and cups, so they can even place it on that racks, so that once that high pressure water high pressure water ejects into that, it cleans all the surface from the particles as well as, and finally it is being sterilized. In this we have the flow sensor as well as we have a pressure sensor and also temperature sensor. At the end of the cycle, the whole thing is again being rinsed with the hot water, and again finally it is with the dry air, it is being sterilized. After this, the product is semi-sterilized. It's not an 100% sterilized, so that after that only they just unload it in the autoclave. And this is one which has a sensor, is one is flow sensor, pressure sensor, and temperature. So this is washer disinfector similar to our dishwasher which is used in our residence. And we have ventilators also. Ventilators, I have handled it in another company. Ventilator we had at which is used to infuse oxygen into the patient, which has a flow sensor as well as the oxygen sensor. The flow sensor is to determine how much is the oxygen level has been set, predetermined, whether it is the same amount of oxygen level being dispersed sent to the patient. An oxygen sensor is to find out that correct oxygen level is being infused to the patient. And we have infusion pumps and syringe pumps. Infusion pump is that when we want to infuse a small amount, say around 5 ml or 10 ml of syringe, 10 ml of injection for a period of over 1 or 2 hours, only the infusion will help us. In normal mode, when we need to inject, it takes in 5 or 2 seconds to finish it off, full injection to be done. So infusion pumps, which has duration, slowly can infuse it for a period of 1 hour or 2 hours. So in the infusion pump, we have a sensor called photoelectric sensor as well as an occlusion sensor. So in the syringe infusion type, the tip of the syringe is connected to the IV cannula to the patient. If there is any clot in the vein, so there is an occlusion. Occlusion is that nothing but flow stoppage of the fluid into the body. So once there is an occlusion, so there is an occlusion pressure sensor incorporated indirect. It is an indirect method, it's not a direct method. So due to the rotation of that motor, it senses that pressure is there, so it gives an occlusion alarm. So the nurse will come in to see that, find out what's the problem, and clear the problem, and again the infusion can be started. And at the end of the sensor, before it goes to the till end, there's another sensor called photo sensor. It will just inform to the nurses that this syringe is about to be emptied. And other one in the volumetric sensor is that where the infusion pump is in volumetric type, where the IV bottles are being hanged in the stand, IV stand, and the sensor is being incorporated, find out how much drop goes into that. In anesthesia machine, we have a flow sensor and oxygen sensor also. In anesthesia machine, similar to ventilator, but it is being administered to the patient during the surgery to keep the patient under unconscious status. So there is another chemical, fluorescein, is being used to infuse inside the patient. This is done by the anesthetist. So depend upon the body condition, that value is being set. And it is being mixed with the oxygen, and it is being sent into the patient, so that the oxygen sensor is that find out that the required amount of oxygen is being dispersed to the patient. And we have an in electrosurgical unit. In electrosurgical unit is the diaphragm, where it is used for the cut and coagulation during the surgery, in which we add to minimize the blood loss during the surgery. So it has a sensor. Once we plug in all the respective sockets with the earth pad, with the active cable, so there is inside a micro switch is there, which is acts as a sensor. We inform to the system inside the CPU saying that all these electrodes are being connected, so we can start the operation. If any one of that, either the return electrode or the active electrode is not been fitted properly, or is there in the cable is there is any cut, it senses immediately and gives an alarm that this properly is not fitted into the socket. So thereby preventing the burns to the patient. And another one important thing is nowadays we are using its navigator system. This navigator system is that find out the location of the. Sorry, first let me tell you that it is used in ortho surgery, where during the knee total knee replacement, it is being focused with the points. Prior to that, the patient is made to undergo the CT scan or MRI scan. This CD is being taken and fed into the navigator, which converts into 3D image, so thereby helping the surgeons to locate where the cut has to be made, precise cut of the knee, so that without any problem, so they can fix the artificial knee into that. In this it is using infrared sensors, they use it. And even this navigator is also being used in the neurosurgery also. In neurosurgery, where they have a tumor inside the brain, so for that also same thing is being exploited using a CT scan or an MRI scan. Those information CD is being fed into the navigator, and then navigator develops a 3D image. This is 3D image, the location, exact location into the brain, it is being identified, and the doctor is sufficiently easy enough to drill that position, and guide his drilling equipment exact to the spot. And even if they want to verify in halfway through also whether they are proceeding the right direction or not, they can stop the drilling and retrieve back the drilling machine, and they can insert a sensor into that and check with this navigator that the opening is exactly into the point. And we come to the next is the multi-rate parameters, where we have a temperature, thermal sensor, and pulse oximeter also being used for measuring. Due to this COVID, we have individual pulse oximeter, whereas in the bedside monitor inside the ICU, we have ECG parameters, heart rate monitors, as well as the respiratory systems. Everything will be displayed on the display. For that, for the ECG, we use a normal electrode, which is as a sensor. Electrical signals which are normally available in the electrical form, so that it is easily taken directly with the electrode. As well as the temperature sensor, we use as a PT100 into this, so to find out the temperature of the body. And the respiratory rate can be derived either from the ECG waveform or from the SpO2. And we have a blood warmer during the surgery, sorry, not during the newborn, after they have been out of the, after they're being born, they have been kept in the warmer for quite some time, in which they have a body temperature sensor is placed over that, and it is an with UV rays light or a normal heater light will be placed over the baby. This is very simple one, which has only a temperature. And also we have blood warmer. In blood warmer, we have a temperature sensor, because the blood, once the blood is being donated by an ex-person, it is stored in the freezer to safeguard the RBCs, WBCs in a good nature, good form. And prior to infusion of this blood into the patient, this blood has to be brought to the body temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. So that's why you use a blood warmer. Blood warmer, if it is heated too much beyond 37 degrees centigrade, that blood constituents RBC, WBC will get ruptured and they will be rendered useless. To prevent that, we have a temperature sensor. Based on the temperature sensor, there's heating. The current to the heating element will be switched on and switched off automatically. And we have an ultrasonic aspirator, which is an ultrasound type, which is used during the cancer surgery, which is a normal, a small cylindrical type of instrument. At the other end will be an ultrasound. So this ultrasound is, when it touches the tissue only, it has to get activated. So thereby you can extend the life of the ultrasound. And this tip vibrates very frequently, thereby disintegrating the cancer tissue, and it is being simultaneously irrigated and absorbed through the suction system. So thereby the healthy tissues are not affected. And we have a harmonic scalper, which is again similar to the diathermy, but in this we use the energy is called as ultrasonic energy. This again ultrasonic transducer converts the mechanical energy into the electrical heat energy, thereby the cutting and coagulation takes. And we have a lithotripter for in urology, which is an ultrasound transducer, which converts the electrical signal into the mechanical energy to break the stone and to remove the stone in the kidney. And during the knee operations, we use a tourniquet. Tourniquet is a band structure which is fitted over the thigh to prevent the blood flow and also to prevent the blood loss. So this tourniquet is increased to the pressure beyond the 150 millimeters of mercury, so that the blood doesn't flow down. So during the surgery, there's no blood, so that the doctor can easily operate and replace the knee surgery. And after the surgery is over, this tourniquet can be deflated and the blood circulation starts. To prevent for over excess pressure being into the cup, we have a pressure sensor into that. So this pressure sensor will limit the pressure if there is any loss in air in the cup, so it will again be recompensated. And we have an heart lung machine. An heart lung machine is that this is very important equipment during the open heart surgery. There we use when that the surgeon wants to do a repair on heart. So the entire blood circulation is shifted to the extracorporeal circulation. That is nothing but the blood circulation is taken over by the heart-lung machine. It's a mechanical machine. It has a feature is called as inside the sensor is as a blood leak detector. So it has the basic principle I just explained. Then only we will be knowing what the blood leak detector. So this heart-lung machine is connected to an oxygenator. In oxygenator where the oxygen is being sent in, as well as which has a membranous pipe. So one side of that oxygen gas will be there, the other side will be the blood concentration will be there. So when the blood passes through the memory, the gas exchanges take place. What is done in the normal process, the lungs, which is now taken over by the oxygenator. And this heart-lung machine is the one which is done by the normal functions by the heart, now taken by the heart-lung machine. So when in this during course of time, this blood is being pumped into the system through the body again till the time the doctor repairs the heart. Either this is done during in any aortic valve replacement or ventricular valve replacement or septum correctional methods, or any of that inside that aorta or any problem is there, or during bypass surgeries where that heart itself has its own blood vessels. So it is called ascending. They have the heart vessels. So if there is any block in the heart vessel which leads to a heart attack, for that also during the bypass also they use this heart-lung machine. So during this gas exchanges and on, so we use a blood leak detector, find if there's any blood is mixed into that, as well as even when we again this blood is being passed into the system, if air gets into the system, it is detected by again air leak detector, and that the pressure sensor is maintained to a normal level to the body temperature, body pressure, as well the temperature is also maintained at 37 degrees centigrade. And last one thing is that I want to just give a brief note on the heating pads, which is used during the surgical long period duration of surgicals. During the surgery, that heating pad is unveiled on the table, OT tabletop, where the patient is laid down, because some of the surgeries, in case of open heart surgeries, the surgery may take even 3 to 5 hours, or even more than that. Even the neurosurgeries can take more than 12 hours also. During that time, the patient body temperature has to be maintained. So they have heating pads. This pad is being placed over the table and over which the patients lay down. And with that, the temperature is maintained at a particular temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. Since inside the OT, the temperature is always at the 18 degrees centigrade, so that to prevent any cross infection inside the surgical team. So the patient should not feel any uncomfortable during the surgery. So they will use a hemotherm or the heating pads. Thank you for everyone for giving me the opportunity to take this. And Mr. Vishnu Prasad. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vishnu Prasad will carry on PTS system.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I will take the section, sir. Can everyone see the PPT and my voice?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. PowerPoint is visible, sir. Vishnu, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, your PPT is visible, sir.
Okay, madam. Okay.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to talk about the topic of PTS. PTS can be defined as pneumatic tube system or pneumatic tube system. This is the application available in hospital. This is used to transmit a carrier, like cylindrical shaped capsule, from one place to another. This is only made use for emergency purpose. If a doctor is doing surgery in operation theater, he or she needs any specimen or tablets or blood specimens or anything he needed from pharmacy or a report also. Immediately within 1 minute, we can send from pharmacy or any other station to another station. This is the application of the pneumatic tubing system. It can be installed in new hospital or existing old hospital also. This is the lab load survey. In this, you can see the graph, blue color and red color. The blue color is normal transport, means like ward boy or some manual. If a doctor needs any medicines, he need to go by lift to pharmacy and take that medicine and then go to that operation theater. If we have pneumatic tube transport, means one phone call only, they will send through pneumatic tube system. The pneumatic tube system is transported in tubing with the help of air, blower and a vacuum. Suction and vacuum. This is the block diagram of the pneumatic tube system. This is in the right corner, we have delivery station and the pharmacy. For example, these are the two stations. My voice is audible or not, sir?
Yeah, it's audible, sir. Sir, voice is audible.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
In delivery station,
sounds a little bit high.
Okay.
Voice. Thank you, sir.
In delivery station, if somebody asking some specimen, they will call to that pharmacy. So they will take that. I will show that capsule and other working process in next those slide. They fit inside all that specimen into that capsule and fit into their PTS station. The station they will send it to that name as delivery station. The blower means motor. It will act as both a generator and a motor. So first of all, it will suck that capsule and go to smart path. I will show that smart path picture in next slide. So it then go to blower, then it will assemble where it needs to go. Then the diverter will divert the path and align it to the pharmacy. Sensor. Here we have used IR sensor. IR sensor, you all know that infrared sensor. Here IR sensor is used to scan the people's ID card tag. If, for example, to station, pharmacy and lab. If a person in pharmacy need to send some specimen or anything report to lab, means he will scan his ID card and send it. So receiving in lab also, a person who is receiving, he also scanned that ID card and receiving. This is only for documentation purpose. And then bin sensor. The bin sensor nothing, it is a level sensor. If the capsule or carrier cylindrical capsule comes arrived to the station, there will be indication like your capsule is come. You can take that carrier. Like that, it will come as an alarm. Carrier sensor. Carrier sensor is nothing but if we lost our capsule or carryings, it will find where the capsule is going and in the last where it goes. Like that, we can identify in the carrier sensor. Proximity sensor. Here the proximity sensor are 4 types, but here we use as a magnetic type proximity sensor. Now, optical sensor is it is used to convert the light rays into electrical waves. In the before slide, we can see inside the tube we fix an optical sensor. If a carrier is passing in the tube, means it will take that picture and it given into the microprocessor. Then that is aligned to the diverter. The diverter will align that capsule into one station. This is the smart path. For example, in a building, you can guess 11 floors. So you need to stand ground floor to 10th floor, means it will go up to by vacuum, means to 5th floor. 5th floor is a service floor. For example, I'm saying 5th floor is a service floor, means we need to send that capsule to 11th floor, means by vacuum process it will go to 5th floor and then it diverts into 11th floor by pressuring. This smart path will converts and diverts that capsule where it wants to go and where needed to be sent. This is smart path. We can see that the diverter mechanism. In this video, there are 3-port diverter, like 1, 2, and 3. These 3 are different station. If pharmacy to lab or lab to pharmacy, then pharmacy to lobby, so any other station, it will diverts automatically. It will come back to like this, and it automatically diverted this. Like so, this is the mechanism of diverter. I'm going to explain. This yellow colors are. This video has been taken for another purpose. I need to explain about that proximity sensor here. This yellow color are proximity sensor, and this is that magnetic ion. So stops. Each magnet have some name. Like this is P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. Each named as this is P1, this is P2, like that named. If that names come to like if P0 comes means it will stop here. If P2 comes means it will stop here. If P4 comes means it will stop here. I will play that video, you can understand it. This insert is alive. Don't worry about that. You just see that the sensor and it's working. So here 6 proximity sensors are there. And then here you can able to see that one green color wire. This is a carrier sensor that is fixed in near to that tube. So whether the capsule is passed through the diverter or not, it will be recorded and captured by the sensor. So next, how the application of the PTS is working in hospital. Here we have installed stations in one hospital in Nari Hospital, Vellore. This is the sample demo video of that. Here, this is dispatcher, and this is the capsule we need to send. Inside this, we are going to insert any blood samples or another thing we need to send. Means it will. Here there are two LED, like you can see. This is called a bin sensor. If the capsule comes inside here, means you can see the alarm indicates the bin is full. You can take that like that. I am playing video. Now inserting, you can see that red color light. It's a IR sensor. This is demo video means, so we can't able to take ID card scanning. IR sensor means you can scan that ID and send that capsule. Now I am entering the station where I need to send. This station number is 62. So I am self-sending that capsule to 62 to 62. the dispatcher goes back and it is ready to launch. Here the capsule return comes back to that stage. This process will be done within 1 minute, because if an emergency means we need to transfer less time. So these applications used for test the time and the manual power and everything. If we use manual means he needs to go to pharmacy, he waits for lift, then he needs to go for electricity. We can save electricity, we can save manual power, we can save, I mean everything we can save in this pneumatic tubing system. Then OT light will be taken by Mr. Harry sir. Harry sir? Harry sir, can you hear me? Harry sir?
Yeah, I will continue, Mr. Vishnu.
You can continue that OT light, sir.
Yeah. We are dealing actually on German-based OT light. Due to high quality product like Simeon Medical reaching market request reliable friendly service, we are proud to have partnered to Simeon for last 15 years. We have 3 models actually: Highline, Business Line, Examination lights. The Highline using in OT, Business is also in using in OT, Examination lights in outside of OT. Vishnu, move to next slide. Vishnu?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a Highline light. It is a Highline light actually. The design is triangle design. The model 7000, 5000 is a model name. It is a 7000, 5000 model name. SE means single color. It is a 4500 Kelvin temperature. Multicolor is variable color actually. 3500, 4000, 4500, 5000, 5500 is a variable color temperature. Anti-bag is a safety glass for ideal hygienes. Vishnu, move to next slide. Vishnu?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a business line. It is a good light for any operation room. The same model is a model 700, 500, 450 is a model name. Same SE is a single color. MC is a multicolor. It's a triangle model actually. We have more installation in all over India. Vishnu, move to next slide. Yeah, it is an examination light actually. The model 250, 350, 3500, 4500 depending upon illumination. The 250 is the 30,000 lux. The lux means normally we are using home lights is watts. So medical terms is lux. So 250 lights is the 30,000 lux, 350 is the 30,000 lux, 3,500 is 60,000 lux, 4,500 is the 1 lakh lux. Depending upon surgery wise, it will be used for outside of. Mainly used for OTs. No, move to next one. Vishnu?
Yeah, sir, I have.
Yeah, the single color already I mentioned. The single color version with natural white LED offer a fixed color temperature 4500. It looks like 12 noon sun power actually. Then multicolor. Either multicolor version is 50% of cold white and 50% warm up white LEDs. Offer a wide range of color temperature adjustment 3500 to 5000. It's actually 5 steps available. Use of aluminum and safety glass. Aluminum light is ideal for heat sling, heat management, ideal laminar airflow, innovative LED technology. Is a SIM POD reflector. Nowadays, lot of lights using reflector technology. Initially started with the lens technology, previously halogen light. Now everybody using reflector technology with LED light. Move to next slide, Mr. Vishnu. Yeah, it's a cardiac control, grip control, wall control. It's an optional one. using in theater. Now move to next slide. Yeah, the LEDs is a technical specification. LEDs, SMBS, wall control panel, camera, electronic circuit board, light control board, spare parts. It's a service oriented for OT light. Just now move to next slide. Just now. Yeah, this part is Mr. Durai will continue. Actually, it is a service oriented. So Mr. Durai will continue. Mr. Durai?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This is the power supply, which is SMPS, which gives the AC to DC. DC is 30 volts, which is given to the LEDs. And from the wall control is an optional one. The wall control, which has a LAN cable. The LAN cable is being plugged into the SMPS, so that through that wall control, we can control the light intensity, increase or decrease, as well as the field size also can be varied, and also we can switch off and switch on the OT light. Very next. This is the main control board. This is the controller board for the entire process for the OT light. It's been incorporated inside the OT, inside the light rate. So all that individual LEDs will be connected to this. So once, depending upon the control signal, either increase the diameter or decrease the diameter, corresponding LEDs will be switched on or switched off. As well as the intensity can be increased or decreased simultaneously for all the LEDs. We have an optional one, which is the 3-pole type is the basic one. The 5-pole is with the wall control, and the 9-pole is for the camera system. And even the camera system nowadays, they're having a wireless camera system. So in that case, you can even incorporate the same camera system in the 3-pole and 5-pole. Next, please. Vishnu. Hari. Hari. Hari.
Vishnu, sir?
Vishnu, do you have any other slide?
Vishnu, sir? Vishnu Prasad, sir?
Yeah. Hello?
Do you have any other slide?
My internet is disconnected. Sorry for that. So I'm
Okay,
going
sir.
to take about that topic pendant. Pendant is also an equipment that is installed in operation theater. That is used for main purpose of the pendant is to decrease the flooring space. In that pendant, we can use both it have left and right side. In the left side, we can use gas sockets, and the right side we can use electrical sockets. So these are the types. Pendants mainly surgical pendant and anesthesia pendant. These are the two basic types of the pendant used. Right side of the patient will be the anesthesia pendant, and right side will be anesthesia, and left side of the leg will be the surgical pendant. Based on the OT, we can set the pendant. Like a pendant may be single arm and a double arm. In this, we can see that round holes. These are the gas sockets and the electrical sockets.
So pendant எல்லாம் எதுக்குடா போடலாம் போட வேணாம்னு சொன்னேன். இதுக்கு சென்சாரே கிடையாது. அவங்க இதுதான் பிரச்சனையே அவனுக்கு. சரி விட அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம் விட. இந்த லைன்ல எதுவும் பேசாத.
Here, pendant, we can see that demo picture of that. This green indication is like here. We can use this button to move left and right using gas. These are the gas sockets of the pendant. So this yellow color wire will be the electrical one. That is in the left side, you can see in that mirror of the glass that upper 3 will be UPS and down 3 will be the raw power. So based on the manufacturer, we can say if the manufacturer means that the customer needs all placement, give all UPS or raw power mixer means we can give. These are the brakes used in the condenser. Pneumatic brake and e-brake. Basically, pneumatic brake is of gas, air. Gas we can stop and move left and right. E-brake is with the help of electrical, we can handle left and right. This you can see that shelf, that two button that is slightly similar to the yellow and red. The green plus means it goes. Hari sir, can you hear me?
I think some network issues there. Is are not here, sir. Vishnu, sir?
Yeah. Section is over. If you have any queries and questions, we will you can ask myself and Mr. Durai sir.
Participants, do you have any doubt? Both medical sensor as well as pneumatic tube systems. Do you have any doubts? Please ask.
Yeah, I don't.
Please mention your name. Ma'am, your voice is not clear. Second, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Jagan,
what is the
sir?
question?
Yeah. Yeah, he is not audible, sir. Jagan, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Sorry, ma'am. Ask the question, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a question here.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sometime back, sir was talking about the force sensor that is used in kidney dialysis machines. So what is the purpose of these force sensors there? I just wanted to know how these force sensor works and what parameter they measure.
Can I just, I didn't explain about the kidney. We have ultrasonic sensor to use to defragment the stone inside the kidney or inside the tube which connects the bladder to the kidney. It doesn't measure any value. There's nothing but a sensor, ultrasonic sensor, which converts into the mechanical ultrasound wave into the the electrical wave into mechanical wave, so that it defragments the stones and everything. It is in this case it is used as a transmitter.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any participants? Do you have any doubt? Vishnu, sir. For respiratory system, what type of sensor we have to use?
Respiratory sensor we use electrode sensors can set oxygen flow level, or it can be even a flow sensor also.
Then what's the
There are many,
difference between, okay, sir, tell sir.
no, there are many different types of sensor. Each depends upon the manufacturer they choose according to the design of the circuit. So
For respiratory system, you are using pneumatic tube system. Okay, for the, what's the main difference?
Not the pneumatic system, no, for the respiratory.
Sorry, respiratory sensor.
We use the flow sensor.
What's the difference between oximeter that in respiratory sensor, sir?
Oximeter to measure the oxygen level which is inside the blood. That is called partial SpO2, partial diffusion of oxygen.
Sir, your voice not clear, sir. Echo is there.
Hello.
Sir, echo.
Now it is okay.
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's okay, sir.
Oh, it's okay. It is SpO2 is called as a partial diffusion of the oxygen into the bloodstream. So the amount of oxygen being absorbed by the blood, which is mainly due to the RBC. The RBC is only which absorbs the oxygen and transports the same oxygen into the various tissues for other further work. And it is normally, it is essential to have an oxygen level not below 94. It should be always above 94. And even in old age case patients, it can just go down up to 90 also. That is acceptable because due to the age limit, their lungs capacity can go down. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Is there any next question?
No, sir. Shall we close the session, sir?
Yes, madam. Thank you.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. I thank our special guest, Mr. K. Harigara Krishnan, sir, Regional Manager, Venus Surgical Private Limited, who despite his busy schedule has found time to grace this occasion. And also we express our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Durai and Mr. Vishnu Prasad, sir, for their valuable contribution to share their knowledge in the field of different types of sensors used in industrial application, medical application, and blood warmer machine. Also, he well explained about blood warmer machine. And also their detailed explanation about pneumatic tube systems. Thank you, sir. I thank all the participants for their valuable contribution. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Hari sir, Vishnu sir, and Durai sir.
Thank you very much, madam, for giving me the opportunity to take on this for the faculties members. Thank you very much for that organization secretary as well as to the PhD institution and the chairman also, madam. Thank you very much to every one of you. See you, madam. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dear participants, shall we will start the next session at 11:45 a.m. Session. Expertise Dr. Shankar Krishnan, sir, National Institute of Technology, SILSA. The session topic is Sensors for Healthcare Industry Applications. Participants can join at second schedule before 5 minutes. Second session. 11:45 we will start the session. Thank you.